the hostage prince and the hidden princess, a love that defied all odds. In the heart of the African savannah, two mighty kingdoms, Banya and Tafa, clash in a war fueled by pride and vengeance. Amid the turmoil, a young prince is sent as a royal hostage, a pawn in a fragile peace. But when Prince Malik finds an unexpected bond with Zina, a maid hidden in the shadows of royalty, their love defies the chains of tradition and ignites a battle not of swords, but of hearts. Will their love be the bridge to unity or the spark that reignites war? Dive into a tale of courage, betrayal, and destiny where the power of love faces its ultimate test. This isn't just a story, it's a legend of resilience, unity, and the power of love. Don't miss the tale that will leave you breathless and inspired. Hit play now! Subscribe, like, and share to keep the stories alive. Long ago, in the vast plain of savannah surrounded by tall acacias trees and winding rivers, two kingdoms, Banya and Tafa, were locked in an endless war. Banya was known for its fearsome warriors and lush fields, while Tafa boasted grand palaces and unrivaled wealth. For decades, the kingdoms spilled blood over land, pride, and ancient feuds. One day, after years of battles that left villages in ashes and fields barren, the leaders of both kingdoms sought peace. As a gesture of goodwill and to ensure Tafa's compliance, Banya's king sent his only son, Prince Malik, to live in Tafa as a royal hostage. His presence would serve as a deterrent against Banya's aggression, for the boy's life would hang in the balance if war resumed. Malik was barely 10 years old when he arrived in Tafa. He stood with an air of quiet defiance, his bright eyes scanning the enemy's golden palace. His brown skin gleamed in the sun, and his braided hair was adorned with tiny cowries, a sign of his royal lineage. The boy wore a tunic of deep blue, the color of Banya's banners, and carried himself like a lion cub trying to roar, though his heart was heavy with fear and longing for his family. King Afram of Tafa welcomed him with open arms, determined to prove to his enemies that their prince would be treated with dignity. His wife Taitu and some members of the court regarded the young prince with a thinly veiled disdain and disapproval. Whispers spread like wildfire about the boy's presence, especially among those who had lost loved ones in the war. Queen Taitu was a woman of sharp features and an even sharper tongue. Her elaborate gel, head wrap, sat like a crown atop her head, and her richly embroidered gowns exuded authority. Though she carried herself with grace, her bitterness was evident. Years ago, she had discovered King Afram's affair with a village woman, which resulted in the birth of an illegitimate daughter. Since then, she harbored resentment, not only toward the king, but also toward the poor girl, whom she treated as a stain on her pride. The first few months in the Tafa palace were lonely for Malik. He missed his mother's soft lullabies and his father's stern teachings. But soon he found companionship in Afram's children, Prince Dara, a spirited boy his age, and Princess Layla, a year younger, known for her sharp tongue and vibrant laughter. Dara introduced Malik to the wonders of Tafa, hunting with falcons, swimming in the cool rivers, and exploring the vast palace grounds. Layla, however, was fascinated by Malik's stoicism. She would sit beside him during the long evenings and ask him about Banya, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Malik began to feel a strange sense of belonging, even in the heart of his enemy's land. Among the palace servants was a young girl named Zina. Barefoot and clad in a simple wrapper of earthy brown, she moved silently through the corridors, her dark eyes downcast. Though she was often scolded for her mistakes, there was an air of quiet dignity about her as she goes about her duties attending to the princess. Zina was no ordinary maid. She was the king's illegitimate daughter, same age with Princess Layla, far beyond her years. Despite her royal blood, Zina's life was far from privileged. Born of a love affair between the king and a village woman, she was brought to the palace at the age of 6 years when her mother died. To conceal this shame, The queen had ordered Zina to serve her half-sister Layla as a maid. Taytu ensured that Zina was stripped of any claim to her heritage. She was forbidden from attending royal occasions and festivals, relegated to the role of a servant. Clad in simple wrappers of muted colors, she served her half-sister, Princess Layla, dressing, fetching her jewelry and carrying out menial tasks. "You will never be seen as one of us," Taytu often hissed, her voice dripping with venom. "Be grateful you are allowed to stay in this palace at all." At festivals, while the court celebrated with music and dancing, Zina was confined to the kitchens or ordered to scrub the grand halls. Her absence was a silent reminder of Taytu's dominance. Layla, spoiled by her mother's doting, mirrored her behavior. She often taunted Zina, flaunting her gowns and jewelry. "A maid should know her place," she sneered, tossing aside garments for Zina to pick up. Despite the cruelty, Zina endured with quiet strength. She treated everyone with kindness, earning the admiration of servants and villagers alike. She would sneak leftover food to the palace's elderly guards and spend her nights weaving mats for the poor in the village. It was during one of Malik's quiet wanderings in the palace gardens that he first noticed Zina. She sat by the koi pond, sketching patterns in the sand with a stick. Her quiet presence intrigued him, and her resilience reminded him of his own struggles. Her tightly braided hair was decorated with small wooden beads, and her dark skin glowed in the sunlight. "Why do you sit alone?" Malik asked. Zina startled but quickly composed herself. "I prefer the company of the trees, my prince. They do not ask questions," she responded. One rainy evening, Malik found Zina sheltering a group of children from the village who had lost their way. She offered them warm blankets and food, her face lit with compassion. "You carry the burdens of others like they are your own," Malik said softly. Zina smiled. "And you carry the weight of 2 kingdoms, my prince." From that day on, Malik and Zina often crossed paths, their conversations growing longer, their connection deeper. He admired her resilience and intelligence, while she was drawn to his kindness and strength. They sought each other's company. Sometimes their meetings were covert, behind the palace's tall hedges or in the quiet of the stables. Other times their paths crossed openly, though they dared not linger. Their bond deepened as the years passed. Together they shared dreams of a future free from the chains of duty and prejudice. Years passed, and Malik grew into a strong and handsome young man with commanding presence. He had become an integral part of Tafa, mastered their ways while never forgotten his roots. His close friendship with the prince and princes of Tafa Kingdom had endeared him to the royal court. Dara was like a brother to him, and Layla, now 17, had fallen deeply in love with him. But Malik's heart belonged to Zina. Layla was beautiful, with intricately braided hair and flowing gowns of vibrant colors. She was confident, clever, and accustomed to getting what she wanted. To her, Malik was the perfect match, a foreign prince who had become part of their world. One evening, during a festival that Zina was forbidden to attend, Malik found her in the palace gardens as the moon bathed the garden in golden light. She sat beneath the old acacia tree, humming a soft tune. "You should be celebrating," Zina said, her tone light yet wistful. "How can I celebrate when the one I wish to share it with is cast aside?" Malik replied. Zina looked at him, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "You are a prince, Malik. Your path leads to greatness. Mine is bound by chains." "I will break those chains," Malik vowed. "You are the only queen I will ever serve." He confessed, "My heart is yours." Tears welled in Zina's eyes. "You honor me, my prince. But what future can we have? I am but a maid, an illegitimate daughter." "You are Zina," Malik said firmly, "and that is enough." Unbeknownst to them, Layla had overheard their conversation. She was furious. How could Malik, the boy she had adored, choose her lowly maid over her? She cried to her mother, Queen Taytu. The queen fury was boundless. She stormed into the kitchens where Xena was grinding millet and slapped her across the face. "How dare you lay claim to what is not yours?" Tatu spat. "You will destroy this family with your greed." She accused her of throwing herself at Prince Malik and trying to steal her daughter's husband-to-be. She angrily warned her to leave Prince Malik or face severe consequences. Xena, though trembling, held her ground. "I have claimed nothing, Your Majesty. Love cannot be stolen, it is given freely." She responded more to the Queen's outrage, who promised to deal with her. Layla, feeling betrayed, confronted Prince Malik. "You promised nothing, yet I believed in us," she cried. "I gave you friendship, Layla," Malik said gently, "but my heart has always belonged to Xena." Soon after, news reached Tafa that Banya's king had fallen ill. Malik was summoned home, and King Afram allowed him to return with the hope of maintaining peace. Malik promised Xena that he would come back for her, but his departure left her feeling vulnerable. When Malik arrived in Banya, he was welcomed as a hero. His people marveled at the young man he had become, his demeanor reflecting both the discipline of Tafa and the pride of Banya. Malik found his father on his deathbed, who declared, "You must lead our people and choose a queen worthy of our lineage." Weeks later, Malik returned to Tafa, not to wage war, but to keep his promise to Xena. When he announced his intention to marry her, the palace erupted in chaos. Layla confronted him in front of the court. "How dare you disgrace me like this? After all I have done for you, you choose her, a servant? You would insult my daughter, your people, and this kingdom by choosing a maid," Queen Tatu raged. Malik responded with calm authority. "Love is not bound by titles, Layla. Xena is more than what you see. She has a strength that you cannot understand." King Afram, moved by Malik's sincerity and Xena's quiet grace, gave his reluctant blessing. But Layla's bitterness turned into scheming. On the eve of the wedding, Layla attempted to sabotage the ceremony by spreading false rumors that Xena had bewitched Malik through witchcraft. The court was in turmoil, yet the people of Tafa, who had long admired Xena's kindness, rallied behind her. Even the servants whispered of her goodness, swaying public opinion. Prince Dara stepped forward, defending Xena. "Layla, enough. Your jealousy blinds you. Xena has proven herself time and time again. Malik loves her, and nothing you do will change that." Realizing she had lost, Layla retreated, her heart heavy with regret. The wedding was a grand affair, blending the traditions of both kingdoms. Xena wore a regal gown of deep green and gold, her head adorned with a crown of woven beads. Malik stood beside her, his eyes filled with pride. Their union symbolized a new era of peace as the two kingdoms celebrated not only their love, but also the end of a long-standing feud. Though Tatu and Layla nursed their wounds, they eventually came to accept the union. Over time, Layla sought forgiveness, and Xena, true to her nature, granted it. In the years that followed, Malik and Xena ruled Banya with compassion and wisdom, their love a testament to the power of resilience and unity. Their story became a legend, told across the savannah as a beacon of hope for generations to come. The end. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe, like, share, and comment.